great show tonight.
It's showtime.
Okay, let's party.
Come on, baby.
Let's just boogie.
Y'all ready?
Let's go nuts.
All right. Here we go.
Now, without further ado,
You're listening to DK and Big B
on Cave Crew Radio.
This is radio. Cave Crew Radio.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. DK and Big B are in the house, each having our own audio. Well, we're not having audio problems now, but I've got a new mic, which is severely sensitive that I have to be close to it. And I have a habit throughout the show to lean and to right, and I've tried to position things tonight that everything is just fine. So we'll see how it goes. And then Big B, you were telling me just before I clicked the play button, you were having some issues logging on, or
right. So what I normally do every week is I have the Be Live link. I click on the link and you log in. You get the choice. You log in through Facebook or through Google. So I always log in through Facebook. And it has my username and password saved, and I just click on Facebook and I go right into the room. Today I got sent to the login page for Facebook. Okay, so I put my username and password in. Next thing, it sends me to a page. We're sorry, we can't complete this not transaction, but we can't complete it. We're having an issue. Check back later. I was like, what the fuck? So I went out, came back in, tried it again, did the same thing. So, all right. Went back out, came back in. This time I'm logging in through Google. Okay, log in through Google, put my username and password in. I get to the next stage. Now it asks me for permission for my YouTube permissions, for the videos and the whatever. It can see all of this stuff. I say, okay, fine, because I don't want to fuck anything up. I get to the next screen. Now it's asking for my camera and my mic. Previously, everything's set up.
Doing that, yeah, it was doing that to me tonight too. I had to re-sign into YouTube. Hopefully, we're fine over there. Yeah, it acts weird sometimes, but not kicking us out after 4 minutes, and we're happy.
So far, so good.
We got a great show for you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a guest coming on. One of our favorite listeners and guests on the show, Jason Scott, will be joining us at some point. Last week, we had a special Believe It or What, and we never got to it. I wonder why. Too busy laughing. Even though it seemed we didn't have a lot of people on Facebook and in chat, the YouTube views were really good. He must be a real YouTube guy.
He said he doesn't do Facebook Live like ever. Everything's on YouTube with him. So
yeah,
that's where his listeners are used to going.
We had a spike in YouTube, which is good, right? As long as people are watching. We like it when you say hello. We see you're out there. Say hello to us. But, what a show. I don't know where, even someone was listening and told me this week, they go, that guy goes from topic to topic and never takes a breath.
Never.
He's relentless, and he does it with such ease.
And he mentioned us on his Saturday live stream.
Yes, I did repost that, and he was, and he answers our tweets, and he's a great guy. Great guy. We'll have him back. But if you missed it, shame on you.
You have to go back and to the go to cavecrewradio.com and go to, was it past shows or whatever the link is, and you can catch it there.
Yes, season 7 replays. Raymond the Amish comic. Well,
and you didn't say Amish the entire time.
Oh, I didn't. I did good. Now, see, I'm relaxed.
Now you're saying.
Hang on. Let's see if I can move the camera. There's always something hindering us. Hello, Facebook user, and hello, Short Side. Short Side, you should go back and listen, because I guarantee you, you and him probably have a lot of the same sense of humor.
Oh yeah, you'll have a great time listening to that show.
Yeah, we didn't talk much, which is good for us. We have lots to talk about this week. We had to do our epicenter, ladies and gentlemen. We always do our epicenters to kick off the show since this pandemic came along.
Right.
And I said to Big B at the beginning of the show, I said, I don't know if we're going to get to the Amish quiz I have. And I think we should do our epicenter on the pre-show, which we did.
Right. And it's a good thing we did.
I had him muted until in Short Side knows who he is. Yes, he is a extremely funny guy. I had, like, my chest muscles were hurting from laughing.
One of my all-time favorite guests on this show.
He talked about fireworks. He talked about roadside bourbon, shopping at Walmart, which we might get to later.
His bird shitting on his leg. Good times.
YouTube unboxing videos, something for everyone. You know, he might seem like he's in a different culture, but he's in touch with a lot of things.
But that's because he left the Amish community. He looks the part, but he left the Amish community a long time ago. He is right. Westernized, so to speak.
Very westernized. We're 2 minutes from going live, ladies and gentlemen. We also tonight have a very special announcement. Speaking of guests, we mentioned Jason Scott will be joining us on the show tonight. The link isn't working. We might have to call him. Let me send it to him again, folks. Sorry to.
This is what happens on the pre-show. We work out all the kinks. If worst comes to worst, Jason, we will call you on Facebook Messenger. And Jason, if you're having the same issue I'm having, you can't log in with Facebook. Try logging in with Google.
I wonder if I don't want to change the link because I don't want to fuck things up. But anyway, we have a special guest announcement for July. We've promised you all kinds of special things, and we've got a big one. So anyway, the link will work, Jason. If it doesn't, you won't be able to go video, because even in Facebook video, we can't put it on the screen. But we'll get your audio. We'll get you on, brother. Don't worry. Just keep Big B posted in
Let
chat.
me know, because I need Jason Scott here from my epicenter.
Yeah, don't leave while you're working on these things. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. It's the Endless Summer Beach Party. Big D and DK right here on Cave Crew Radio. We're going to do a little more talking than we did last week, but we guarantee you're going to have some fun. So I'm just going to put some of these things away. I'm going to hit.
I have a new deadly device to show off too.
Oh, I'm not that old. I remember. All right, let's hit the radio play button, and away we'll go.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Warning, Will Robinson. This program contains bad words.
Use caution
If easily offended, enter.
at your own risk.
Things are starting to get weird in here.
Really weird.
It's the Big B and DK on Cave Crew Radio.
Cave Crew Radio.
Listen to us now at cavecrewradio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being
I said this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on hot?
Mr. Clayman, what else are you going to do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Cave Crew Radio it is. It is our endless summer beach party, continuing all summer on an Amish comic hangover. But we're back. We're good. We're ready to go. We're live on cavecrewradio.com. We're live on our YouTube channel as well as Facebook. We are also available wherever podcasts are found. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud in my Canada gear tonight because, as you can see, I am not cheering for those people that don't sing the national anthem in the correct language. So let's go Bolts. Let's go Bolts is what we're saying here at my household. And if it ain't the Leafs, it ain't Canada. Joining me here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as always, from Queens, New York, he is the Duke of P, as knighted by the Queen herself. He is the self-proclaimed President of the United States, and of course, always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am Sir Big B, your President-elect of the United States of America. And as always, the epicenter of something. But before I get to that, I have a question for you.
Sure.
As I see you're dressed, ready for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals between Tampa Bay and Montreal Canadiens, I see you wearing a Tampa Bay jersey. Now, jerseys are rather expensive.
Correct.
You went out and bought a jersey specifically just because They are playing the Montreal Canadiens. He's turning around. He's pulling 91. Okay.
I'm trying to show you how short the sleeves are. My son was a major Steven Stamkos fan.
Okay.
Probably when he was about 12. So this jersey, it's a little short.
Yeah. Okay. So it was your son's that he had previously. You didn't specifically go out to the store and buy a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey once the Stanley Cup final matchups were made.
I don't think you realize how much I paid for my Austin Matthews NHL jersey.
I understand.
He could walk in 2 years.
I understand how much jerseys cost. I have a Mika Zibanejad jersey. I understand how much authentic jerseys cost. That's why I was questioning, because I know you're not a fan of the Tampa Bay Lightning. You're rooting for them.
Well, I like them.
Canadians.
I do like them. I'm a Ryan McDonough fan. I like Braden Point, Gilhorn, who's not playing, Kucherov and Hedman, and they're all great talents to watch. I like them when they had Marty St. Louis and Vince LeCavier. They're a likable team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm rooting for them because they're the New York Rangers of the South.
But they're in my division, so normally I won't. A hand me up, yes.
That's instead of a hand me down. Yes, very good.
Short Side has me writing things down already. I really gotta watch that with this new mic. Hand me up. I miss Short Side. I don't know what his excuse is, but he should be under contract. He should either have to pay via Patreon or show up every show. Like, we rely on you people. Like Jason Scott and Amanda going on dates on a Friday night. What the fuck's wrong with you? You got to be over 30. You should be at home watching the show, snorting coke or whatever normal people do.
Well, I will tell you this, Short Side, because we do have the Cave Crew after dark, so to speak, after the show. I'm always available, so Short Side always messages me, and we have conversations after each show. And he's working on something special for us. So
I keep telling me this.
I will give him a break. He's working on something special, and
looking forward to this for several weeks.
Well, I'm looking forward to going on his wife's show. But
I thought that maybe now that I have the new, more expensive microphone, ladies and gentlemen, that I invested in just for you, not knowing if Big B is going to renew the show again. I still invested in this microphone to try to be a better host for you people.
Well, I will tell you what, it sounds great.
Facebook user says date nights are a must and a normal.
I'm assuming that would be Amanda.
Now, or my wife, because usually Amanda will say Amanda and Brad.
Very true.
Because before you get to the epicenters, I don't mean to get off topic, but a weird thing happened this week. So we worked Monday to Friday, but this week, Thursday was a holiday.
Okay.
It was Canada Day. Sunday is the 4th of July.
Right.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Happy Canada Day, everyone. So we had one day off. We went back to work today. The girls in the office were talking. They're like, do you ever go on dates? Like, what do you? And I'm like, we don't go on dates. Like, if we decide we're going to do something, it is Amanda. Well, of course, date nights are normal. And they're usually Friday nights, aren't they? Anyway, no, I don't go on dates. If I'll say, like, tomorrow, if I cut the lawn and she's not doing anything, our son is away at a cottage with some friends, and there's girls there. Maybe I'll get to that later. Anyway, no, we just, hey, do you want to grab lunch? So if that's a date, so be it. So they're talking about it. So I was hoping on having Chinese food on Wednesday, and lo and behold, my phone goes off. Why don't we go to an outdoor patio, have a couple of drinks, and yada, yada, yada? And the hockey game was on that night. And sure enough, everyone out there, I went on a date.
Nice.
And my wife was nice enough to even drive, even though it was maybe 2 or 3 blocks away. And she orders these weird sweet drinks that I think have probably 6 or 7 shots of alcohol in them, but they have great names, right? Like Tahiti Sunrise,
Right.
yeah, Bang in the Rear, whatever.
On the beach.
Yeah. So we're waiting for our wings to come, and I ordered a Alexander Keith, which is a Eastern Coast beer, very nice lager, and I'm drinking and I'm ordering my second one, and she's on her third, and she says, "These are going down so good." And of course, I said, "I will drive home." So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I did date night.
Very nice.
Anyway, we should get to our epicenters here. I'm always avoiding your I have an epicenter as well, a very stressful one.
So I have a question. Is Jason Scott out there?
Well, can you see me? Okay, wait. So he's in. Hang on, I got so many. Jason Scott did figure things out.
All right, good.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you should see Big B drinking peanut butter whiskey very shortly, because I am again delaying his epicenters.
A brand new bottle, by the way.
He's going to tell me that he's going to quit the show. The one thing I'm known for, DK, is my epicenters. And this is 2 weeks in a row that you have neglected the epicenter.
And now that you just bought a brand new mic, I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm going with Choo Choo Stew.
We do have Jason Scott. There we go.
We're complete with Blue Mountain Pottery.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear, guys.
All right. We're glad you got in. Anyway, listen, Jason, I have some questions for you, and we have some fun tonight. We've got some, hopefully you can stick around for the news and stuff like that. But before I get to my questions for you, I do have to let Big B do his epicenter. So you've got Short Side coming, by the way, over your peanut butter whiskey.
He loves the peanut butter whiskey. So
you're upside down, Jason.
Well, now he's sideways.
Now I feel like I'm ready to play round, baby, right round.
There we go.
There you go with all that beautiful Blue Mountain Pottery. Let's just let Big B be an epicenter of something.
So there was a reason why I needed Jason Scott here, because Jason Scott is known for a couple of things amongst us. One, that he loves his Domino's, he loves his Wendy's, he loves his fast food. But 2, that he has issues with Walmart. And my epicenter this week is customer service hell. So I will give you the exact date. On June 18th, I ordered a brand new smoker. It's a gravity feed smoker. It's very expensive. It's a wonderful. It's going to be a great addition to my outside. I ordered it from Walmart. I could have ordered it from a number of different places, but I ordered it from Walmart because they offer this. You can pay over time through this app called Affirm. They kind of give you a loan with a little interest rate, and you just pay it over time. It doesn't affect your credit or anything like that. So instead of laying out the money all up front, I get to pay over time.
Sorry, but is this like a layaway, but you get to keep the product?
No, it's not layaway. It's
okay.
Affirm pays Walmart the cash up front. So I get the product and then I pay a firm over time, like using a credit card basically, but it doesn't go against your credit. You know what I'm saying?
You find the most excellent things.
Oh, it's well, actually, my wife found this and she turned me onto it. So anyway, this was the only place offering a firm where I could pay overtime because this grill is expensive. The smoker is expensive. So I ordered the smoker on June 18th. It has to be shipped via freight. It can't come via UPS or FedEx or anything like that because it's a big item. So it has to come via freight.
Right.
So that means a trucking company goes and picks it up and brings it to me. So I have the tracking number. It's shipped. I ordered it June 18th. It shipped on June 21st. It's in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Now, a week later, it's still not even picked up. I call the freight company. I said, here's the tracking number. What's going on? They look at it and they say, well, Walmart never gave it to us. We're there every day. Walmart never gave it to us. You have to call them. Fine. I call Walmart. I get a lady that's obviously not in America.
Oh, here we go. We got a call center now.
Oh, it's obviously a call center. She's, freaking Jane from Mumbai.
Right. And let's be perfectly clear that her name is not fucking Jane.
Right, correct. Her name is not Jane, but according to, the call that I'm on.
Whiskey, ladies and gentlemen. This
brand
is
new bottle.
Good. This is gonna get good.
So I call them up. I get Jane from Mumbai. And I give her the order number. She looks it up. She says, well, it was shipped. That's all she says. It was shipped. I said, yes, it was shipped. According to you, I checked the tracking. It's still sitting in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I called the freight company that was supposed to pick it up, and they said you never gave it to them. Where is it? Okay, hold on. I'm on hold for 2 minutes. She comes back. Well, it was shipped. Again, that's her answer. It was shipped. I said, I know it's shipped. I said, but you guys have not given it to the freight company. What is going on? Hold on. She comes back. All right, I'm going to try to call the freight company. Call the freight company. Comes back. Oh, I didn't get in touch with them. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, up to here with it because this has been like over a half an hour of just phone calls and waiting. I said, you know what? Call them back. Call them back again. Comes back. I can't get anybody on the line. Says what I can do is I can give you a replacement or I can give you a refund. I said, fine. Give me a replacement and a refund. Now I just want a free fucking grill.
Right. Did you get it?
I said, give me she says, okay, give me 1 second. I said, ooh, I'm getting free fucking grill. She comes back. She says, I put the replacement through. You'll see the order come through in your email in a second. I said, yeah, but I also want a refund. She says, what do you? No, I did the replace. I said, yeah, I want the replacement, but I also want a refund because now you're inconveniencing me. Hold on, very nervously.
She's got to get management, and that's not in Mumbai. It's in Kathmandu.
Right. She says, hold on. Comes back. Now I'm waiting again a couple of minutes. She comes back. Okay, what I did is I'm going to send you a $15 gift card.
Have you used the Red Lobster one from Muhammad yet?
I have not. I have because I don't want to order out. Now that everything's open, I'm going to go back to Red Lobster and use the gift card, but I didn't want to order again.
Right.
So they said they're going to send me a $15 gift card. And I didn't hear them correctly. I said, did you say 50 or 15? 15? She says, yes, 15, $15. I said, I spent almost $1,000 on this and you're going to send me $15? Well, that's what we can do. So now the new grill is today shipped again in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
We're going to need updates.
Its scheduled delivery date is the 12th. I think it was either the 12th or the 19th. So now I'm waiting. And the reason why I want Jason Scott on here, because he many number of times has had issues with Walmart, and that was just trying to deliver groceries to him while he sits in the car.
Well, he was also, don't forget, a Walmart warehouse picker. So he would probably be one of the ones that lost your barbecue.
I want to know how you lose a fucking gigantic fucking smoker in a no matter how big the fucking warehouse is, a gigantic smoker stands out. So, Jason, please give me your thoughts.
Well, to start, I wasn't working at the facility in Bethlehem, so I can't comment. I think it's interesting you're trying to get a barbecue and a refund on the barbecue, ending up with a free barbecue.
Well, why not? The most they're going to say is no. At that point, I had fucking Jane from Mumbai very frazzled at this point because I'm yelling at her. I said, no, I want the fucking I want the new grill, and I want a refund. That's when she got all nervous. But you've had several run-ins. Not only, okay, so I didn't realize you were a picker at a Walmart warehouse. So what happens when an order comes through?
I was technically a receiver in a different department, so
we're not getting into sexuality right now. We're asking about Walmart. Jason Scott does not seem to be in a good mood tonight.
There's a bit of a lag, so.
Oh, okay.
But I still so give me your thoughts. You've had several run-ins with Walmart. You seem to hate Walmart. Is this typical of what happens when dealing with Walmart, especially online purchases?
Probably. More often than not. I've had very little success. But
yeah, we hear about it all the time.
Yeah, you post about it all. This is why I wanted you on here, because you post about it all the time. You sit in the parking lot waiting for groceries that never come, and then you have to go in and pick out your groceries.
No, in that case, I mean, I would just leave and come back, or I'm not about to go in there. That's for sure.
Is that the same Walmart where you worked at?
No, I worked at a distribution center, which is technically a warehouse for Walmart.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm assuming that's what is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Right. That's where your barbecue is.
Right. So now there's two of them sitting there. And Lord knows if I'm going to get one of them. If I get two, all the more better, because I'll sell the other one and I'll still wind up with a free barbecue. So,
but what I do know
I'm waiting.
is that, for example, when you purchase a barbecue from Walmart, you're assuming that the barbecue you get is in the store at the moment. But what happens with online orders is that your barbecue is going to come from the warehouse. So the warehouse has to ship it to Walmart. And then when they receive it, then you'll come and pick it up. It's not actually in the store. And they don't just walk down to the barbecue section and bring it over. They actually order it from the distribution center.
Oh, so right. No, that I get. It wasn't in the store.
Doing things.
Right. I get that it wasn't in the store, especially this, because it has to be picked up via freight. So like a trucking company has to go get it. And I had called them previously to try to get this resolved. And the freight company was like, they gave me the number for JFK. Apparently JFK is like which is, John F. Kennedy International Airport here in Queens. Apparently that's like a processing center. So the freight company would be checked in through JFK and then come to me. So they had already given me that number. So I know it's not from the store. I know this specifically is from the warehouse that's picked up by a freight company. It's not like, a vacuum or something.
Now, is this one of those pellet smokers that everyone's talking about?
It is not. It is a charcoal gravity feed smoker. So what that is basically there's a hopper. It works like a pellet grill. So there's a hopper. You put in your charcoal through the hopper, and you could put wood chunks in the bottom tray. You light the charcoal on the bottom, and there's fans that go in. You type in what temperature you want, and the fans will regulate the temperature inside to keep that like if you want to say like 275 degrees. So fans will regulate and make sure the coals are burning enough to get 275 degrees. And as the charcoal comes down, as the burning embers come down, they fall on the wood and light the wood up, so you get the wood smoke in there.
This is much more complicated than your portable kitchen that has the wastewater go into a bucket.
Very true. This is much more complicated.
You're gonna have to upgrade your kitchen now.
Well, so now that you know how this works, you have to light the coals on fire, right? There's got to be some way you light the coals on fire.
Right.
I have this.
Oh, wait a minute. We're gonna have to bring.
Wait, you got to give me a second because I also have this. This is.
Oh my God! Didn't we go through this with Choo Choo Stew that we don't light propane in the house?
Well, just for test purposes.
And I just heard a shh.
No, that was Jason. That wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So just for test purposes, I will connect the.
What the? That ain't a fucking torch. That's a fucking flamethrower. You're gonna burn your beard off.
I am not.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to us on podcast, we may cut short. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, you're the lucky ones. Okay, what's that red thing on top?
Well, this is the regulator, so this is off right now, and this right here is the igniter. So
now you realize I do this for a living, and that does not look like a legitimate regulator. Is it a stage 1 or stage 2?
I don't know what that means. It's just, high and low. I don't know what stage 1 and stage 2 is.
Supposed to regulate the pressure is what it does.
Well, yeah, it tells you. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to move it back a little bit and turn it on.
This is worse than the time he tastes Choo Choo Stew. Whoa!
And then when I turn it up.
Oh my gosh. Mrs. B is going to kill you.
Oh, she's seen it already. She knows, and I could just turn it down to a nice little low flame.
Right.
And then, of course,
Okay. Very cool.
And then off.
Now, is this something Jane from Mumbai also supplied you?
No, I bought this separately off of Amazon. Okay. And then I bought the propane tank from Dick's Sporting Goods. It's like, the camping propane. You know what it is.
Right. So take that off.
Right. So and I've disconnected, so I'm safe now.
Now turn the regulator off. You should probably let the residue propane that is in the gun release itself.
I don't know how to do that.
You just press that fucking thing you made the flamethrower with.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah, just like your old Caps gun when you were playing Lone Ranger and Tom.
Yeah, there's nothing happening now.
All right.
So it's off. So once I eventually get my my smoker, I will be using this to light the charcoal.
See, I just sort of again.
That's Jason, like laughing with his breath. That is not me, because nothing is connected. Look, it's not connected.
As soon as you turn the regulator, as you call it,
yeah, that's this.
It released.
Well, I mean, you
don't smoke anymore.
Wait, so wait, you're the propane guy. So explain to me what level 1 and level 2 is. I have no fucking idea.
We have a stage 1 and you have a stage 2 regulator. It's basically on the size of the tank. What you're doing is you're taking liquid propane from that small tank, right, and you're turning it to vapor, and it needs to be converted in the regulator. And it also acts as a back pressure. Although I don't see it in that little thing, it acts as a back pressure, so it won't ignite the entire tank if there's any sort of a failure.
Well, I'm safe. I am completely disconnected.
Good.
The tank is here. The torch is here. I'm completely disconnected.
All right, listen, my epicenter is really short because before we get to the news, before we get to play the game with Jason Scott, I have questions for him. But I am the epicenter of a neighbor that is strawberry fields forever or on fucking crack.
What?
He told me he was putting up a fence. This is the new guy that lives behind me. And I'm like, wow, you can afford to buy wood during this pandemic? And he's like, oh, no. I'm repurposing my mother-in-law's fence. So if you don't mind, I'm going to put this fence up. And I said to my wife, it was chain link and we have wood everywhere else. This will look very nice when it's done. And I support the idea. This is what it looked like. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't live in Beverly Hills. I am not a 90211 or whatever it is address code. But through the pandemic, we've done a lot of work in our yard, and I'm very proud of the way it looked. And this was driving me fucking nuts. And my wife, it doesn't look that bad, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, I kept, why do you keep looking outside? This fence is driving me fucking nuts. So let me take this down. How I spent Canada Day, Big B and Jason, let me make sure, hopefully this is the right one, was buying Thompson's Water Seal Stripper, power washing and brushing constantly to at least get this thing to look uniform.
Wait, now why did you do that, and why didn't you make your neighbor do that? It's his fence.
But it's facing my. He doesn't give a shit. He's in his backyard smoking wacko tobacco all day. He could care less. And now the funny thing is my neighbor on the other side, he got the same thing. They had theirs done about a week and a half before me. They haven't done shit. No, I didn't do the other side short side. I could care less. It's not my property. But a very simple, ladies and gentlemen, epicenter for me. I'm not done yet. It doesn't match the other fence perfectly, but it looks a hell of a lot better, I think. Don't you agree?
It looks great, but I still don't get why you did that and you didn't at least make your neighbor pay for the material that you bought.
Well, it was like $40 for the Thompson Water Seal, and I already got a power washer. One of the great tools I bought during this fucking pandemic that I occasionally wash the Jeep with or spray the windows. I've got this shit, and it was driving me crazy though. I think I'm borderline like Rain Man. You know, I was standing at the door and my wife's worried. Should I call 911 or something? I'm like, oh, Judge Wapner at 2. Judge Wapner at 2.
All right, so then I have a question. Since you're a homeowner and your neighbor is obviously the homeowner, you have the one fence.
Yeah,
and it's your neighbor's
portion
fence.
Because like I'm on other properties as well, but his portion.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. That fence is your neighbor put up that fence. How come you don't have a fence? How come you didn't put up a fence?
I don't have an answer to that. There was a fence there. It was a chain link, and it was at the very back, and it was like this much showing, and it didn't bother me until I saw multiple colors on wood, and anyway, I'm happy with it now. It's a privacy fence. I don't have to see the guy. I could install some fans to blow the smoke in the other direction, and you know, that's my epicenter. That's it. That's That's all I got.
There's still many questions I have.
Well,
I don't understand why.
I don't understand how we're gonna go on an entire show about a fucking quarter portion of a backyard fence.
Because it looks like it's from fucking Fat Albert's neighborhood.
Well, it looks better now.
Yes, because you did something to your neighbor's fence.
No, you should not be did it to the portion that is in my yard.
So he's infringing on your yard then.
The dude says he looked like it. He obviously wasn't stoned the time I was talking to him. He seemed like a decent, normal guy. And he says, I'm going to put up a fence. Is that a yes? I think that's a great idea. Added privacy for everybody. Mm-hmm. Little did I know this was going to be a repurposed fence from a fucking junkyard and look like shit in my yard. So instead of causing a fight, which upsets my wife because I'm going to deal with these people. Yeah, so I just went out and fucking power washed and stripped the stain on my own and sacrificed my Canada Day, my holiday.
If it
looks good. When I sit in the hot tub, I see nice things now.
Hey, if it makes you happy. Another thing that should make you happy, I just checked the score. Tampa Bay's already up 2-0.
Beautiful. I don't think Jason Scott watches hockey, but I'm assuming in Cornwall, you're all a bunch of Montreal fans. You sing the national anthem in tongues.
Around here, it's split between Montreal Canadiens and Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, good. I hope you're on the Toronto Maple Leaf side. You seem like a guy that likes to speak English.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
He said that very emphatically.
But you're not off the hook, Jason Scott, because I have a few questions. It's been a while since we've had you. The first thing I'd like you to explain, we're going to get into the shot in just a minute, but the first thing I'd like you to explain to me is this thing. I saw Amanda posting about this fucking toy boat coming from the ocean to Cornwall, and you were constantly making fun of it. But as this boat gets closer to the port of Cornwall, I can see you're very excited. Tell us the story of Theodore Toot, or whatever the hell it is.
From what I understand, it's a themed tugboat from Nova Scotia, which was sold to a tourism company based out of Ontario. So the crew was sailing the boat from its home port to a location in Ontario. But every time it rained or the wind blew, they had to pull over. So he was supposed to arrive June 25th, and now we're looking closer to July 7th.
Wait, so I appreciate that the boat is not built that well, and perhaps that baseball cap isn't good in the wind. Where exactly do you pull over in the ocean? How do you just pull over when you're a boat? It's not like you're going downtown, Main Street, and there's parking meters everywhere. This is in Nova Scotia to Ontario is a pretty big route.
Well, I'm sure they have the capability of mooring, which is lowering an anchor at any point on the route, so they could just stay stationary on the river. They're not crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. We've had a bit of rain. We haven't had tornadoes or monsoons or anything like that, so they're taking their time.
So let's officially have a race. What gets there faster, the boat or my grill?
Yes, we should have a official contest and take some votes. And Jason Scott, is there any is there a webcam or something that is following Thomas Tutu on his journey? Is there any way you can share this with us on a regular basis?
Apparently, there's an app from the South Dundas Tourism Commission where you can track his live location on the app for those who are interested in up to the minute information.
Is Amanda taking you to this the day it arrives? Like, is this going to be a big deal? Are the kids going to draw Bristol board signs and like are you going to celebrate when Thomas Tutu the tugboat arrives?
I mean, we'll depending on when it actually shows up, we'll probably go check it out more as a novelty and not to be taken seriously as any sort of marine
and I'm
display.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it is not Thomas, it's Theodore.
Is this in the news in Cornwall? Is this like a news story?
Yes.
I figured.
So this is on the front page of the Cornwall Sun or whatever the paper is.
I don't read the local newspaper for many reasons, but I'm sure it would be. But it is all over social media every step of the way.
So like in your local news, like the 6 o'clock news, whatever time it is on your local news, at some point during the broadcast, they'll have an update on the fucking tugboat.
Oh, I would assume so, because for the locals, this would be considered quite fascinating.
So this is once it finally pulls into harbor and docks, it's going to be this huge thing where a ton of people are going to come out to welcome it. Maybe not you, but a ton of people are going to come out to welcome it.
From what I understand, it's not stopping, so we're going to have to watch it along the way.
Wait a minute. According to you, every time it rains, it's got to fucking pull over.
I'll keep you posted.
So I always imagine in my, and I'm not the expert on things that you guys are, but I always thought tugboats were like the warriors, the linebackers, the offensive linemen, whatever you want to call them. They were the ones that rescued other boats that were stranded on ice or cracked into a reef. And here we're all cheering for Theodore, who has to pull over and park every time it rains. All right.
It is rather ironic. I agree. It's very ironic.
Fucking think that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of in my entire life. But
I think I missed something. What is the point of this? I may have missed it. I'm sorry. But what is the point of this?
So the boat originates from the East Coast. So it was sold to a tourism company based out of Ontario. So the boat is being shipped from its original starting location to Ontario. So people are watching it as it passes through local waterways.
So then once it reaches Ontario, then it will become a tourist thing and they'll go on the water in Ontario.
And exactly what is it going to become, Jason? A fry truck?
It would probably be a charter boat. So you would pay to go out on it for a couple hours.
So, okay, I'm with you on this one. So are you going to be watching your Doppler weather forecast before you go on your cruise, knowing that as soon as you get a drip of rain, you're going to have to pull over and park?
Apparently.
All right, then. Another breaking news from Cave Crew Radio. Theodore, the tugboat. All right, Jason Scott, I got to put you on the hot seat. And this time, it's not to do with your relationship status or anything else. You messaged me earlier this week, seemingly quite excited, that you were booked to get your vaccination. Now, those of you in Cornwall seem to be a hot pocket of We want everything to open. We want everything to be back to normal. We want to travel. We want to go to New York and see Big B. We want to go to England and stay in Stu's cabin, but we don't want to get a needle. But all of a sudden, you flip the page. Now, here's my question. Are you doing this because you want to, or are you doing this because, as you informed me, you got 2 days off with pay?
That would be the Stu way to do things,
right? But I might not support it if that's your wanting to inject something into your body. I did it because I live right beside Detroit, Michigan. I want to travel. I want to go back to normal because I watch the morning news in Michigan and everything's open. No one's wearing masks. It's a Shangri-La of a great time.
So it's not necessarily. So it's not the idea of vaccinations, which is the concern, but it's the idea of the government telling us we have to be vaccinated. And then what happens to our freedoms and rights? And I think we've already gone over this on a previous call.
But I was vaccinated, Jason. This is not Trudeau. This is who? This is England. This is the United States. It's Germany. It's France. So you're calling you're the Greta Thunberg of vaccines.
Well, I mean, if we're going to leave it up to the New World Order and to decide what's right for population and the Bilderberg Group.
But maybe we just don't want to get sick. Maybe it's that simple.
So, I mean, I decided to go ahead and get vaccinated because the reality is that these limitations are going to be imposed on us whether we want it to or not. So at some point, it's basically just like, okay, if this is going to help flatten the curve and get things back to normal, instead of sitting around and complaining about it, I would take a proactive approach and do it, not only for myself, but considering my coworkers and Amanda and her children, for example. I figured that would be a good idea.
You're going to make me cry. No, I see, it's just my belief. I think you're doing the right thing. I will tell you, after my second shot, my Wi-Fi improved dramatically.
That's Bill Gates for you. That's the Bill Gates microchip in you. You have your own personal Wi-Fi now.
Now, I'm only preparing you for Choo Choo Mania because you're going to really be on the hot seat. How did because your partner is a cheerleader against this. You told me, was she mad?
She was indifferent. She knows it's my decision, and I took her views into consideration when I made my decision.
All right. And I'm assuming this is Amanda. Is there proof you won't get sick? They said you could still get COVID and pass it along. My only answer to that is if we get COVID, we won't get sick. You still have it. It just protects you from. I have no idea, man. I hate wearing a mask. I always, when I was a teenager, hated wearing a condom. The risk of chlamydia or the clap did not deter me. It was like taking a shower with a raincoat on. And I'm just tired of this mask. I really have no life. I'm sitting here with you on a Friday night. But it's nice if I want to go into a restaurant. Like the other night, I was at the outdoor cafe. I had to go pee. And I walked in and I went, oh. And Jason Scott sideways again. I went, oh, to the waitress or the hostess or whatever. I said, I'm so sorry. I forgot to put my mask on, even though I'm fully vaccinated. It's just fucking horse shit. I don't know if I believe in it one way or the other. I just want, if this is what makes it all go away. Now, if I still got to wear a mask in September, I'm going to be really pissed because I've done my part.
And to answer Amanda's question, I'm assuming it's Amanda. It's what the vaccine does is it stops the worst parts of COVID, meaning you can't, you won't die from it. You won't, it'll be, like a cold, so to speak, if you do get sick. It's just like when you get a flu shot. You can still get the flu, but the worst parts of it won't affect you. And that's the same thing with this. This isn't this
is going to fit in chat. Let's see. I can't even read that. It's so small.
This isn't an immunity. You don't have an immunity to it. You may have built up antibodies, but that doesn't mean you're immune to it. What that means is the worst part of it, you're not going to die. If you get the vaccine and you still contract COVID, you're not going to die from it. You most likely won't be hospitalized either. It'll just be basically a bad cold. Yeah. And that's the biggest misconception. People are like, oh, look, he got vaccinated, but yet he still got COVID. Nobody ever said you would be immune to it. That was never, ever, ever, ever once put through.
I do have to admit, now I've never gotten a flu shot my entire life. I'm not run and put things. It isn't even so much, guys, that I believe what it's going to do. I believe it's going to get the economy moving. It's going to allow me to go to New York, Nashville, Fort Lauderdale, London, England, whatever. More so, just go over to Michigan, watch a ball game, come home like I used to, go out in my own neighborhood without, elbow. Oh yeah, we can't shake hands. Elbow. Fuck that shit.
Well, here we are. I brought it up last week, I think it was. We've hit the 70% vaccination mark here in New York. We are completely open. There are no restrictions, nothing at all. No distancing, no masks, no nothing. We are 100% open. Cuomo, our asshole in charge, let all of the pandemic requirements or whatever, they all passed, and he didn't renew them. There is absolutely zero restrictions here in New York now. Because we've hit the 70% mark of vaccination, and we are now under 1% of infection rate. So where we were during the height of the pandemic, we were the epicenter. We were the true epicenter of the pandemic.
Where the epicenter
began. Right, because here in New York, we were the true epicenter of the pandemic.
If you've been with us long enough, you'll remember that Big B came on and said, we are the epicenter of all things COVID.
Right. In for the country, New York, particularly Queens, where I am, was the hot spot in all of the country. Now we are less than 1%. And that's with 70% vaccination rate. So we are 100% open. So whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, there is some, when you look at the numbers, there's something to it. We are 100% open. Our stadiums are 100% full. The Yankees, play to 100% capacity. The Mets, the Islanders, when they were in the playoffs, playing to 100% capacity. And there's not these flare-ups. There's not these, huge outbreaks after an event. We are less than 1%.
Except for in Australia, where they thought they had things under control, and no one got vaccinated. Now they are in a state of emergency again.
Right. So, the numbers prove out that there is something to being vaccinated.
Right. And that's our opinion, right? I don't want to, I'm not in chat. I think it's Amanda. I bet not everyone in the States is vaccinated. You're correct. not everyone is going to get vaccinated, and some can't do it because of health reasons, immune diseases or whatever. The concern of the fourth wave in Canada is our youth. That all the adults will be vaccinated and safe, and when we open the schools again, they're going to be the vulnerable ones. But anyway, enough of that. You either want to or you don't. What happens, happens. I'm a little confused from earlier. Jason, you're from Cornwall. U.S. or U.K.? There's a Cornwall everywhere. There's a London, Ontario. There's a Windsor, England. Jason Scott is a proud Canadian.
Well, and the reason is because a lot of these towns that were named after British towns and cities were during, because at one point, Canada is technically part of the British Commonwealth. So we've had a lot of influence from the British over the years.
Right. And imagine that Kitchener was once New Berlin, but they changed it because of World War II. Just a little fun fact there for you.
Canada is a very interesting place. I one day I will get there, and I look forward to seeing what Canada has to offer.
It's a beautiful country. We're very similar to both you and England. I find England to be a little bit backwards in old school, but Canada and the United States are very similar. But Canada is it's really a cool place. It's beautiful.
Well, from what I understand, that everybody that's been there says that Toronto is just like New York but cleaner.
Yeah, it's getting worse in Toronto, but as you get to outskirts like Cornwall, like where Jason's very close to the Thousand Islands, beautiful place. We got Niagara Falls, which is very touristy, but we've got a lot of parkland, and the further you go west or east, we're just a very vast country. I mean, we were second largest geographically to the USSR, and I'm pretty sure we're the largest country in the world now. I think we're bigger than Russia.
See, the only images I have of Canada is through television, specifically Highway Through Hell, 401, whatever that show is, and watching, Mike Holmes.
Yeah, we're actually pretty normal people, right, Jason? I mean, we go to McDonald's, and we have some good places to eat that are gourmet, and we like to do all the stuff. I think in the States we just have a shorter summer. Our weather is exact to New York.
I mean, I guess it all depends on what your definition of normal is.
Cornwall, Canada is a little different from Cornwall, UK. The Canadians don't have eyebrows that meet Jason Scott doesn't have eyebrows that meet in the middle. So
unibrows
is what we call them. All right, listen, folks, enough. The choice is yours. I didn't want to get into what do we got here?
Sorry, short side just said less incest as well.
We call that here in North America West Virginia.
It's funny because it's true.
It is.
But in the late part of the 19th century and the early part of the 20th century, it was very common for Canadians to marry within the family distantly. So anything past, and like it couldn't be, I mean, in some instances it was first cousins, and that would happen so that they would keep the land in the family and to preserve the wealth of the family.
Can I ask a quick question, a quick Canada question before we move on? I've always heard that Quebec was a very dirty, nasty, ugly city that the rest of Canada hates. Is that
Well,
true?
Yeah.
So
There are-
basically,
they-
it
they
depends if you're
speak-
talking about
they
Quebec
speak
City.
in tongues so that we can't understand what they're saying. They are filthy, dirty people. No, I'm just kidding. It's a beautiful province. It really is. They just all speak weird. Kind of like that Jane in Mumbai.
I always heard, especially like when
dirty.
I remember when this all relates back to hockey when the Quebec Nordiques came down to be the Colorado Avalanche. There was a lot of talk where all of Canada hated Quebec and were glad to see the team leave.
That is the opinion of Quebec because they constantly want to separate. They want to become their own country. They don't want to take their portion of the debt with them, which is considerably large. And there's no point in them leaving now because now we're a completely bilingual country. I remember calling Pelee Island, which is an hour away from me, but because it's a federal park, hello, bonjour.
But a lot of it stems from the early 17th century when France and England were at war over ownership of Canada. So at one point, it was a British territory. Then the French won, and then it became a French territory, and they settled old Quebec City in Quebec. And then it was there was the fight. They fought again, and then the British took it over again. So ever since then, there's always been this rivalry between the French and the English, kind of like an old grudge kind of thing,
right.
Right. It's like the Spanish over there, the blacks. We've got Indians and we got French. We can't win because of the color of my skin. I'm Hitler, basically, is the summation of the cancel culture in Canada. We are blamed for everything, no matter what we do. No matter what we do. All right, listen. Man, we're getting off the rails here.
The score is 2-1 now.
Okay, they'll still win. I blame this all on Theodore the tugboat. It's all he's part of cancel culture. Any tugboat that needs to pull over and park every time it rains is a true liberal tugboat. Anyway, before I know we got stories and we should still have time, but we really I can't put this off another week. And Jason Scott so valiantly stepped up. Neither of you are Amish, but you want to play Amish trivia. But before we get to that, I have a Cave Crew Radio special announcement. You know that we have a lot of fun stuff planned here on Endless Summer Beach Party, ladies and gentlemen. But this one is going to be a big one. Listen to this audio clip.
A legend of the cave, a long-lost friend. We remember him through a book. Do you believe in magic? July 16th, the book comes alive. The pages have breath. The artist formerly known as Choo Choo Stew. I call this one Once Upon a Time Again.
Yes. Okay, enough. The fucking symphony. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is confirmed. Friday, July 16th. Cancel what you're doing. This is it. The return of the artist formerly known as Choo Choo Stew. We're going to get all the answers. We're going to find out what he's been up to, what his new life has taken him to be after the show, after he left the show. Choo Choo Stew is returning, or should I say, the artist formerly known as Choo Choo Stew is returning to the show Friday, July 16th.
And let's be clear, he's not returning permanently. It's just
No,
a guest appearance.
no. This is it's not like we're welcome back. Glad you changed your mind. Good to see you here. Someone must have scored.
No, my TV went off. I'm putting it back on.
Oh, okay. You're in bad luck over there. He is coming to visit us. He promised during the endless summer, during his holiday, he would visit us. And there's so much. He's had a warning for his absences. He's got this new diet. He's a marathon runner. I don't think he's going to be the person that you've seen in the past, but he is the artist formerly known as Choo Choo Stew, ladies and gentlemen. So we have that to look forward to as well. Anyway, next up, before we get to any of Big B's news, and we will get there, it is something that we missed last week, and Jason Scott agreed to participate in this. We did have Raymond the Amish comic last week, and we thought, why not bring back Believe It or What and do an Amish-themed trivia thing. But if you know Ray, the Amish comic, we really didn't even get a chance to plug our own show. So anyway, we're going to do it tonight. It's time for
Fact or fiction?
True or false?
Right or wrong? Let's go. It's time to play Believe It or What?
Or what? I was so looking forward to this. Well, number one, Jason, you're the guest. And you also, sorry, my headphone's stuck. You're also defeated Big B, although his defense would be he wasn't feeling well that night. He was having COVID side effects from his second shot. But technically, you are the only one that has ever defeated Big B. And this is open playing grounds. This may be tougher than My Little Pony, believe it or what. Now, do you want to answer the first question or pass?
I'll give it a shot.
All right. Jason Scott. During which period in history did the Amish have their start? Was it the Middle Ages, the American Civil War, the Dark Ages, or the Reformation? Do you want me to read those answers? Was it the late Middle Ages, the American Civil War, the Dark Ages, or the Reformation? I'm having a hard time saying that.
I would have to say the Civil War.
All right, let's see.
I would say, can I answer before you give the question? Not that it counts, but I would say the Reformation.
Yeah, a wide range of denominations and sects came into being in the aftermath of the Reformation. One of those being the Anabaptists, of which the Amish are a branch, becoming a distinct group near the end of the 17th century. So good job, Big B, but you don't get a chance on that question.
Right. I understand that. I just wanted to put it out there.
And I see you've been doing your homework. I'm impressed. Big B, your question is, the Amish and the Mennonites are different names for the same group of people. True or false?
The Amish and the Mennonites
are different names for the same group of people. True or false?
Well, that's actually a gray area because
there's one answer in this trivia contest.
it is a gray area. I will say true, but let me explain, because the Mennonites are a more strict version of Amish religion. So the Mennonites are very, right down the middle, very strict Amish, whereas the Amish themselves, some of them have phones and whatnot. They don't adhere to the no electricity, things like that.
Right. But for the purpose of this quiz, yeah, the answer is false.
And I would say it's true because, and I'm officially protesting now, because the Amish and the Mennonites are the same. They are just, the Mennonites are, it's like taking a religion and saying what's orthodox and what's not.
Well, according to our producer who feeds me the show notes, the Mennonites came out of the Reformation with their leader, Menno Simmons. Some people in this group disagreed with certain principles in the book of Matthew in the Bible. This group broke away from the Mennonites and were led by Jacob Ammon, who became the Amish. So the groups do have a common origin, but they are not the same.
I am officially protesting now. Because they are the same. It's just when you take one religion and make it more orthodox and more Western, let's say, it's the same thing, just one extreme or the other.
Listen, this is all for fun, and you're tied. Okay, it's not like you just lost.
I understand, but I'm protesting.
Okay, well, that's fine. I don't make the questions or the answers. I don't have that much time on my hands. Jason, what is the most basic reason why the Amish, reject technology? The Bible tells them so. Martin Luther was against it. Jacob Ammon told them to. They hate people that use technology. Jason, the Bible tells them so. Martin Luther was against it. Jacob Ammon told them so. They hate people that use technology. This is why the Amish reject technology.
Because the Bible tells them so.
And let's see where we are here. And now you got something to worry about, Big B.
I'm already protesting, so I'm fine.
Well, you know what? I don't get paid enough to take it to the highest. Take it to the highest magistrate of urine stench alley for all I care. Here's yours, Big B.
Yeah.
And by the way, to answer Jason's, there was a quotation from the Bible that they believe requires this: "Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by renewing your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable to the will of God," which is Romans 12:2, if anyone wants to check it. All right, Big B. How many languages do Amish people speak? Is it 2, 3, just 1, or 5?
Interesting.
Is it 2, 3, just 1, or 5?
Well, there's at least 2, because they speak English and they speak Amish.
Okay. Is that your answer?
I'm thinking, hold on. Do they speak? What are the options? 2, 5.
1, 2, 3, and 5.
1, 2, 3, and 5. So it's either 2 or 3. I want to say 2 or 3. I'm going to go with 2.
protest, which may get you an extra question if the audience agrees. They learn English at school, Pennsylvania Dutch at home, and which is actually a dialect of German, and a High German when worshiping. Answer is 3.
So I said 2 or 3. I went with 2. Okay.
All right, but
I still have to protest on question 1.
Maybe the government, the audience will. In audience, I want you to start thinking because he's falling behind here. So in the chat, in the case that Big B is only trailing by 1, or it's a tie, should he get a bonus question? I'll leave it up to the chat. They're good judges. Jason, what do you not see? What do you not see on a married Amish man? A beard? A plain dark colored suit? A plain black hat? Or a mustache?
A mustache.
How fucking easy is this? Of course.
You're correct. Married Amish men grow their beards after they're married.
What do you not see on any Amish man? A mustache.
All right, the score is 3-1.
It's actually 2-0, but okay.
Not giving anything to the process. Now he's asking me if I just called Jason Scott a Nazi. We're playing Amish trivia, and Jason Scott disappeared. Which
Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Okay. He's back.
I did not call anyone a Nazi, short side. I do need the audience to decide. There is a 2-question lead, but Big B could narrow it right now. Are you going to give him a bonus question? I personally feel his argument was very valid. If it was left up to me, I would hold up the protest and give him a bonus question. But I'm leaving it to you because you're the ones that watch the show. Big B, if you don't get this one, you're not going to need it. 3-1, 2-0, whatever you want to call it. What will a traditional Amish woman never wear? A dress down to her mid-calf, a white bonnet, a neon pink dress, or an apron.
A neon pink dress.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, if I can find my cue, Big B is within 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not helping me here in the chat. A simple thumbs up or a thumbs down is all we need to get Big B that bonus question. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Amish women do not wear bright colors. Again, they want to blend in and not attract attention.
Yeah, actually, the only bright colors you'll ever see on Amish is on the back of their buggy. They have the bright orange neon, the neon orange sign, like slow down or caution, something like that. Otherwise, they're in black and white.
They don't want a scooter or a fucking vehicle to destroy their wooden, whatever those things are called.
They're buggies, horse and buggy.
A buggy, that's what it is. It's a buggy. All right, the next 2 are true or false. So I think both of you have a fair chance. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is hinging on the protest. Jason, the old Amish are willing to ride in cars, but they won't drive them. True or false?
False.
Oh, things are getting real. The answer is true. The older order Amish can ride in a car that a non-Amish person is driving, but they will not own cars or drive them. Where does that leave us now?
That's by my count is 2-1 still.
Right.
And a Facebook user, which I would assume is Amanda, says, "Give me a bonus question because that one was debatable."
And I don't question that. But before we do that, this could tie it legitimately. And your crown, your title, which is getting very worn lately after losing to both Jason Scott and Eric Jordan. The Amish do use some modern technology. True or false?
True.
Yeah, they use refrigerators for sanitary reasons, gas-powered lamps.
Mm-hmm. They also actually use cell phones. If you get into the later generations of Amish, they have really started using cell phones. Not a lot of them, but they do use them.
All right, the next two are going to be a little bit more complicated. So the audience says Big B does get a bonus question. I don't know how you feel about that, Jason. We don't know how you feel about that, Jason.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. I thought you were thinking about your response. All right. Here we go. Jason's turn to take the lead. When an Amish teenager turns a certain age, he or she is allowed to give up the Amish life and see what it's like on the outside world.
Rumspringen.
Why does he get all the easy questions?
At least temporarily. This is called Rumspringen.
True.
This is better than just Swain.
He gets all the fucking easy questions.
And it means running around. What is the average age a teen experiences this? Is it 18, 14, 17, or 16?
I'm going to say 18.
And an easy question, Big B.
Can I steal?
To win without your bonus.
Can I steal?
No, there's no steal.
Damn.
What do you want to say?
The answer is 16.
Yes. The teen can dress however he or she likes, mix freely with non-Amish people, get an apartment, party, and do whatever they want.
Let it be known that not only did I protest question 2, but I knew the answer to question 1 and the question that was just asked that Jason didn't know. So let it be known that I've already known more about this.
No, you know what? That's like hearsay. That has no valor when it's someone else's question and you say you know the answer, and then when he's eliminated 1 out of 4, you're guessing 1 out of 3.
I already knew the answer. It's 16.
What really disappointed me is Jason immediately knew that it was called Rumspringen.
Rumspringen.
This is better than when he said Ghislaine.
I have to give him full credit for that because I had no idea how to pronounce that fucking name.
What is it? Rumspringen.
Rumspringen. That is the what that is when Amish kids turn 16, they are allowed to go out into the real world and experience what it's like to be in the Western modern culture for a specific amount of time. And then if they choose to come back to the Amish life, they will live that life for the rest of time. Or they could choose to reject the Amish life and go on to live in the Western world.
Are you done with your Amish verbal diarrhea? Can we carry on?
I'm just explaining to you what Rumspringen is, so those that don't know have an understanding of what it is.
If I was going to hang out with Amish people, I would much rather hang out with Ray. He is he makes this so much more exciting than you guys do. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, and this is all on your shoulders. If you don't sleep, I'm not going to lose any sleep tonight over this. If Big B gets this one right, he wins. He has won, believe it or what, Amish Trivia. If he gets it wrong, we have to give him a bonus question before we go into overtime. And I don't know if I have that many more questions. But anyway, the Amish religion originated in what European country? Was it Switzerland, Germany, England, or Sweden?
Germany.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. I hate this game. I really like this game. The correct answer is Switzerland, and they are now centered in 21
I knew that answer.
In America. Now we got another protest. Do you people want to give Jason a bonus question?
No, wait, that wasn't his question. So he doesn't get a bonus. That was like me answering question 1 and question 9, whatever it was. It still doesn't count. What's the bonus question for me since it was already approved?
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. We can end this once and for all and maybe get a weird news stories before we close for the night. Amish are forbidden to go to war, swear oaths, and have political or hold political office. My apology. Amish are forbidden to go to war, swear oaths, and hold political office. Is that true or false for the win?
Interesting.
True.
I would. They have political opinions, but I've never heard of an Amish holding political office, and they are very insular community. I would say true.
And the drama continues, ladies and gentlemen, with the bonus question that you awarded him, even though technically, to my scorecard, we are tied. Big B wins. Their simple way of life includes shunning politics and the military.
Although they do have...
I don't know how I feel about this, ladies and gentlemen. I've never been involved.
Fact or fiction?
True or false?
Right or wrong? Let's go. It's time to play Believe It or What?
I guess that's why at the end it always says, or what? What a scandal-driven version of Believe It or What. If I was you, Jason, I wouldn't be too settled on the result.
There is no scandal. The Amish and the Mennonites are the same.
Well,
There is just an extreme.
That's your translation of the answer of the question. The answer to the question, as far as the quiz goes, I didn't, try and shun you. I read the answer and you were wrong. But because you cried to this cancel culture audience that we have, they gave you a bonus question.
If you look up anything
and run,
if you look up anything having to do with the Amish and the Mennonites, they are one and the same. It's just one extreme or the other as far as religious views. It's just like any other religion, whether you have Orthodox or quote unquote Western views. It depends on what you're looking for within that religion. So Amish and Mennonite are the same.
Basically, what happened is tonight's Believe It or What ended up exactly like the Amish and the Mennonites. We have a split. So now we have an Amish version of Believe It or What. And depending what you want, we lost him again. Depending what you want to play, then you have the Mennonite rules of Believe It or What. So it's like it's like when you go to a bar and you play pool. There's different rules. Is it last pocket or is it call last shot? You know, everybody has their own rules of the same game.
By that rule, by that logic, I am correct because pool, it's the same game. It's just different rules.
The American League says you get a designated hitter. The National League says the pitcher bats.
But it's under baseball. It's still the same game. So what I'm saying is the Amish and the Mennonites are the same. It's just different rules. So under that logic, under any logic that you've just given, I am correct. By the way, the score is now 4-1. Tampa Bay is leading.
Beautiful. This is beautiful. I will not have to hear the national anthem in French. Well, I guess I'll have to hear it Sunday again. All right, here's the only way to settle this. I know an Amish guy that I can bring on. But if anyone knows a Mennonite, but they probably wouldn't be able to come on because they don't use technology.
Right.
Maybe you can invite one to your house, Jason Scott, and just pretend you're having a conversation and they're not really on camera.
Can I ask Jason? I know we're coming to the end of the show.
I'd like to do one news story, but anyway.
Can I ask Jason Scott a question? I have a question that I see you post all the time about your new purchases in Blue Mountain Pottery. Now, of course, I've been asking for Blue Mountain Pottery for months, and I still haven't gotten any. But where do you store? Obviously, right behind you is some examples of Blue Mountain Pottery, but you continually buy more, and I don't see you selling any. Is your house just filled now with Blue Mountain Pottery? Or are you like a hoarder?
Not yet, but there is a lot, and I'll be getting more tomorrow.
And he's getting more.
But I have a few cabinets, some shelves, some cupboards, so it's kind of spread around the house.
Do you throw your dirty towels after a shower onto a piece of Blue Mountain Pottery?
No, but that's a good idea.
Mad.
Now I've asked
you taking down pictures of family members because you need
space.
Put a Blue Mountain Pottery ballerina up on the shelf.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I don't know. Like I see your haul every time you go. Today's I don't know what the word is you use, but today's take of blue. Like you don't even buy yourself underwear or a nice clock for the kitchen or maybe a new protector for your phone. All you do is eat takeout and buy Blue Mountain Pottery.
And I've asked for a piece of Blue Mountain Pottery for months now. I've offered to pay for it and pay for the shipping. I have no problem with that. I'm not asking for it for free, but yet I still have nothing for Blue Mountain.
We would all like one piece of Blue Mountain.
That's all I ask for. I will pay for it. I will pay for the shipping of it. I will pay whatever it takes. I want one piece of Blue Mountain Pottery. That's all I want.
That's all we're asking for.
You're going to get it very soon.
Is a piece of Blue Mountain, and he's still going into the bottle. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
I have to.
We have to do one news story while we have Jason with us. Do you got to pee or anything, Jason?
No.
Because
battery might die, but
I'm getting good at holding my bladder during the show. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, short sigh, Amanda, even Jason may choose to call Big B back. Cave Crew Radio after hours. Maybe Big B can explain in a little more detail why he protested that question. Maybe he can tell you a little bit more about Jane from Mumbai. We only skim the surface with what we talk about here. You, as a listener to the show, have a free pass to call Big B after hours. The only thing is, you have to be a friend with him on Facebook.
That
To
is
be
true.
with a friend of him on Facebook, if you don't know him or have a mutual friend, you need to join the Cave Crew Radio Facebook group, which is zero admission.
And Short Sai has messaged me. Speaking of after hours, Short Sai generally every week will be messaging me after the show, and we have a wonderful conversation for a little while after the show until I fall asleep, because I'm generally a little bit tipsy and I just want to, pass out.
Right.
He asked me, he says, is Jason a little tired? And sends me a picture of, I will put it up here, him with Jägermeister while the show is on in the background.
This is Short Sai or Jason?
This is Short Sai. So he's drinking some Jägermeister with our show in the background.
Right.
And he asks if Jason is a little tired. I guess you seemed to be a little tired when you were doing something.
I think it was the delay.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
well, I worked all day.
Well, so did I.
So did I.
No excuse.
Your point
You
is
think I get $8 million for doing this fucking show? I had to buy this new microphone. Anyway, he's tired. He's probably got Domino's waiting at the door for him. What is dinner tonight?
I had pizza earlier, but not from Domino's.
Oh, where from?
Riverside, which is
okay. So he
really
actually got like I am having, because my son is away at a cabin. My wife picked up Pizza Hut, so nothing fancy, just a quick snack.
Jason, have you ever been to New York?
Yes.
You have. So you had pizza when you were at New York?
Well,
like
I've been
authentic pizza, not pizza.
I've been to New York State, Upper New York State. When I was a child, we used to camp in the Adirondacks and Lake George and
that doesn't count.
Lake Placid.
It is. It's beautiful up there. I've been there as well, Jason. The Finger Lakes is where we used to go.
And that's where I'm vacationing this year. I'm going to the Finger Lakes this year. But no, that doesn't count. I'm talking about coming down to New York City and having authentic New York City pizza.
Not yet,
Jason,
but it's on the bucket list.
I'm not sure if you knew this, and you may want to have me keep an eye out. My vacation last week of July is Blue Mountains, Ontario.
Now, can I ask?
I'm going to the Blue Mountains.
Can I ask? Since obviously I've asked Jason and Amanda for months now to send me Blue Mountain pottery. Can I ask you to pick me up some Blue Mountain pottery and send it to me? I will pay for it. I will pay for the shipping. I have no problem with that. I'm not asking it for free. Please send me one piece of Blue Mountain pottery.
I have a feeling, Big B, that the irony of all of this is I'm going to go to the Blue Mountains and there won't be
any pottery.
I'm thinking it's everywhere else but the actual. But if I see it, guys, I swear I'm not a souvenir guy, but I'll pick up some pieces of Blue Mountain pottery.
And all you have to do is provide me your PayPal email address. I will PayPal you the money.
I have the utmost confidence in you. How I'll pack it and get it there. You got to go through Bethlehem and JFK and Lord knows where else. We got to make sure it's not broken unless you have a good crazy glue.
Yes, I would hope that it's not broken. But, I've been asking and I will pay for it. I'm never asking it for free, but I still don't have anything.
Do you want to? Are we going to squeeze one story?
We can, whichever story you want. I have them up here
Well,
already.
I'm going to leave that to you because I don't want to cause any sort of a controversy. But let me play your little intro here.
Hey, good evening. And now the rest of the story. It's time for this week's Weird News. Now over to the CCR News Desk with senior correspondent Big B.
So if we're only going to do one story, I would choose the condom one, just so you can pull up the pictures.
Hang on.
That is the Tokyo Olympic condom one. There you go.
There it is. All right.
So let me pull up that story. Hold on. Tokyo Olympic athletes warned not to use 160,000 free condoms. The organizers of the 2020 Olympics have repeatedly vowed to, and I would assume that's 2021,
yes,
have repeatedly vowed to put on a safe and secure games during the coronavirus pandemic. But safe sex or anything approaching intimacy, for that matter, will be forbidden for athletes competing in Tokyo. The International Olympic Committee this week repeated demands that residents of the Olympic Village must observe social distancing guidelines to prevent an outbreak of COVID-19, threatening rule breakers with a wide range of penalties, including fines, disqualification, or even deportation.
Me looking at the screen.
Athletes, according to the public health measures outlined in the latest Olympic playbook, must avoid unnecessary forms of physical contact.
Well, I mean, we're trying to social distance. There's certain rules in place, even I'm sure in Tokyo. Jason Scott is having his own little Shangri-La over there.
Let's see, where am I? That has left Japanese organizers red-faced after questions were raised about the fate of 160,000 condoms that, in keeping with Olympic tradition, are due to be handed out in the village this summer. Hundreds of thousands of free condoms have been distributed since Seoul 1988 to encourage safe sex during the unofficial Olympic sport of bed hopping among athletes from over 200 countries who spend weeks living in close quarters. However, if the 15,000 Olympic and Paralympic athletes observe COVID-19 rules to the letter during their stay in Tokyo, this year's consignment will go unused. The mixed messages have baffled observers, including celebrated Japanese mountaineer Ken Nagochi.
Japanese mountaineer?
Celebrated.
Is he the Japanese version of Daniel Boone?
He is a celebrated Japanese mountaineer.
What Ken the fuck is a mountaineer?
One who climbs mountains.
And that's an Olympic sport too?
Apparently. Who said handing out prophylactics while employing their owners to keep them under wraps was something I just can't comprehend. So basically what they're doing is they're handing out 160,000 condoms, but saying, don't use them.
Right. Yeah. It's like, hey, here's some beer, don't drink it.
But do people even really use condoms anymore?
I'm not in the game anymore. I'm not in that circle, so I'm not an expert.
I haven't used a condom in 20-something years. If you hear the stories about what goes on in the Olympic Village during the Olympic Games, there's sex going on like nonstop, apparently.
It sounds like the midgets from The Wizard of Oz. Like this is historical. Like everyone knows, all the munchkins used to gangbang I mean, come on. I'm not the only one that knows this. Why are y'all looking at me like I'm an idiot?
Well, this is a big
The
thing.
Munchkins used to gangbang on the set of the Wizard of Oz, the Yellow Brick Road.
There was a lot of stories about what went on the set of the Wizard of Oz, and that is certainly one of the big ones. That there was a lot of fucking going on.
Yeah, by the Munchkins.
By the Munchkins.
Like to welcome you to Lilliput Land or whatever the fuck it was. No wonder they were so happy spinning those giant fucking suckers around.
4 Japanese manufacturers had been banking on the games to market their specialty, ultra-thin condoms made of polyurethane that are said to heighten the pleasure of sex.
Just like the real thing.
So the same thing you put on your deck, you put on your dick.
Are you telling me this is what keeps the rain off my wood?
Apparently.
No pun intended.
You use polyurethane to keep your deck safe and your dick safe. But according to Agency France Presse, games requirements mean they are only permitted to distribute thicker latex-based versions, which some have described as offering an inferior experience. So now we've gone through. We've gone past.
It's like taking a shower with a raincoat on.
Right, we've gone past social distancing and be safe to, a thick condom. I don't feel shit. So I want a thinner polyurethane deck, driven sex experience. And Jason Scott is gone.
He normally comes back instantly.
He hasn't come back yet. When I learned about the requirement, I thought, oh my God, can that be right? An industry source told AFP. We had really counted on being able to offer these ultra thin ones. While the IOC has said up to 80% of prospective Olympic and Paralympic Village residents will be fully vaccinated by the time the Tokyo Games open on the 23rd of July, they will spend much of their time in their safe distance from their fellow residents. Now, let's go back for a second. Paralympics. So these are paraplegic athletes.
Right.
Are they really
similar to the Munchkins on the set of The Wizard of Oz?
Are
slightly debilitated people, Big B, but perhaps their penises and vaginas work perfectly.
I guess, but they're paraplegic, so they don't have feeling from like the neck down or the chest down. If they had full feeling, they would not be in the Paralympics.
Maybe there's a sensation cream for that.
A sensation cream. Can you write that down, because I'm in the middle of a story?
What do you
Please
want?
write down a sensation cream.
Got it. Go ahead.
I'm getting past. That's pretty much it.
I have a question.
Organizers were originally planning to provide meals in vast dining halls, but are now encouraging athletes to eat and sleep alone. And that's it, pretty much.
Where did they come up with the number of 160,000? That seems like a really bizarre number to me.
Well, they're talking about
been that way since the 1988 Seoul Olympics.
So let's do the math. So they're talking about 15,000 athletes.
Right.
At 160,000 condoms. So that's 10 condoms, 10 plus condoms per athlete. How much fucking is going on in the Olympic Village?
And I always thought this was about sport.
It's all about fucking.
That's all they do is fuck. I want to go as a spectator just to be mistaken as a paraplegic, geriatric I don't know, mountaineer.
I still want to know where Jason Scott went.
It was 2 hours past his bedtime, and I'm going to assume that he doesn't have much luck with batteries. Anyway, we've run late tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of the stories we may or may not get to next week. There were some other good ones, but condoms at the Olympics. I just find it very strange how they came up with that number. The battery died. I told you.
And Jason Scott. So going back to my Blue Mountain Pottery, Amanda has my address because I had ordered Scentsy from Amanda.
Okay, as did we.
And she sent me some wonderful gifts, which I greatly appreciate. And Jason Scott says, Amanda, still waiting for you to give me the address. Jason, if you want to message me privately, I can give you my address.
Right, because and my wife also, she's got to order more Scentsy. So yeah, our addresses are on file at Scentsy.ca.
That's and wonderfully, since I'm in the US, I was still able to order Scentsy from Amanda up in Canada. It went through the US mailing shipment thing much better than Walmart and getting my fucking grill.
Obviously not through Bethlehem.
Obviously not through Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do need to pee, and Big B is anxiously awaiting. I hope this week it's Jason and Amanda that join you on After Hours, and you have some stories to tell next week.
I do have some stories to tell, but we'll see who. It's random. Sometimes only once, actually, Jason and Amanda have joined me on After Hours. Generally, it's Short Sai. Me and Short Sai have become pretty good buddies.
You never know. It might even be the artist formerly known as Choo Choo Stew.
It may be. You never know.
You never know. All right. So, kids, we need you to help us name the show. I do have a few written down. I'll need to clear a page for Big B's. Here's what I have. I really liked a Hand Me Up from earlier in the show. Can't quite remember what that was, but Short Sai said that, a Hand Me Up. I've got Jane from Mumbai. I know you told me to write down Sensation Cream, but I wrote down maybe there is a Sensation Cream for that. I also wrote down Theodore the Tugboat, and it keeps your dick and your deck safe.
There you go.
I wrote down a few this week, BB. But I'm going to guess this week you only have 3.
And if I had a sound effect, you would get the correct sound effect.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. That's probably the first time in a while that I was correct.
I only have 3.
Well, you were busy this week.
I was busy this week.
News. You had the epicenter. You were busy.
I was busy this week. And I will give you top to bottom, and the bottom being my favorite. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
First is, what is an Alexander Keith? I still don't know what that is. You mentioned it.
I'll get it next week for you. It's a beer, but
next, I wasn't working at the Bethlehem facility.
I wasn't working at the Bethlehem facility. He's always so polite when he answers.
He certainly is.
And politically correct. I wasn't working at the Bethlehem facility. That was a good one.
And this one is my favorite. It gets my vote. Where do you pull over in the ocean?
Yeah, I might have a couple show notes on mine, but where do you pull over in the ocean? Is that not a valid question?
That is an extremely valid question based upon Tommy the Tugboat or whatever.
Tommy the fucking Tugboat. Jason likes, and I'm a little partial to that too. I wasn't working at the Bethlehem facility. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you have another one, it's down between that and where do you pull over in the ocean? I thought that was very good too. So I am actually going to throw my vote over to that. Although, don't worry, I wasn't working at the Bethlehem facility. Will be a headliner in the show notes, guaranteed. So I know Big B is going to vote for that. Does anybody want to throw a wrench in this? You got a few seconds because we're running overtime as it is. I wasn't working at the Bethlehem facility. That was good, but where do you pull over in the ocean? Where in the ocean? Shortside says. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We got lots of great show notes tonight. Jason Scott's now changed his vote. So we got lots of votes for, and yeah, you guys can laugh at it all you want. I think it's a legitimate question. You know, every time it rains, you got to pull this thing over. You got a final score?
No, not final score. Canadians just scored. Is now 4-2.
Yeah, well, what's left?
It's in the second period.
Really?
Yep.
I guess I got some hockey to go watch. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I want to thank Jason Scott, regular contributor who will also be coming up on Choo Choo Mania. And I love having all you here listening with us. It's been a great time. Big B and I will be back next week. If you have his number, Big B is available for Cave Crew Radio after hours.
Just let me pee first.
Yeah, give him 5 minutes after we cut out here. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week with some more Cave Crew Radio.
Thank you very much for listening to the show. Now stay safe, take care, and wash your hands.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here! Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
Get out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Changing the landscape of comedy talk radio since 2015. Uncensored shock talk radio with a few giggles thrown in. This is Cave Crew Radio.
This is radio. Cave Crew Radio. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And yes, together we will make America great again.